So hey anime fans, the series name is What If Naruto Got Harem with Kurama, so let's start the series. Naruto was as of now running on ahead with all his speed. Away from the Jonins pursuing him and towards the lavish green woods. It was fairly advantageous to do so in the event that you could find one at each edge of the town. Kurama switch, Naruto shouted to him. The everlasting being awakened from his sleep grogily. Tisk, Kurama said before Naruto's sea blue eyes changed into red-slitted ones and bouncing high up impractical for any human and sped at seemingly a haze. It hasn't even been an hour and you gotten yourself in difficulty, Kurama protested, delivering ownership of Naruto's body. Naruto gasped and thudded all the way down against the bark of the tree. At any rate, I just painted the Hokage stone faces, Naruto said, recovering his breath. They should have been shaded. How did you respond? Kurama asked, feigning exacerbation. Blossoms on the first Hokage, Sharingan eyes on the second, a nose drain on the third, Naruto finished. Nothing for your beloved dad? Kurama inquired. I don't have any idea what to feel about him, Naruto conceded, now investigating the far-off skies. He fixed you in me. Not that I generally dislike it. Presently at any rate, Naruto said wildly. Simply come to the heart of the matter, Kurama said. You say he can't stand me, yet, how could he seal you in me then? He isn't similar to the others. He doesn't detest Mother, who was a Jinchuriki too. He cherished her and wedded her, Naruto started. Why did he do that to me? He probably understood what it's like. There was quiet overall between then for an abnormal second prior, Naruto. Naruto was yanked by his collar. What are you doing here rather than the class? I was lost, Naruto attempted. Lost mutilating the Hokages, Iruka asked logically. You are coming to class at the present time. Naruto was then hauled until he was whipped on his seat in his group, doubtlessly arousing a lot of giggling for his group. Iruka moaned vigorously, every one of you come and play out the Bunshin Jutsu. Not a solitary one of you are permitted to go until everybody in class has made something like one Bunshin. While the whimpering and cries began, Iruka hammered his hand on the table to quiet them down. Yamanaka Ino, Iruka called. Damn Naruto, we generally need to pay for you, Shikamaru said, hauling himself gradually to the line. Like I give it a second thought, Naruto said, folding his arms and heaving. Uchiha Sasuke, Iruka called and disregarded the silly cheers and support. Sasuke framed 3 amazing bunshins and the volume of the cheers expanded. Naruto, Iruka called. Naruto proceeded to remain in his place, switch. Naruto then shut his eyes and made the hand seals and occupied the room with many bunshins. Awesome, Iruka said, however that actually doesn't mean you are free for the Hokage faces. I know, Naruto said, moping. Rehashed you one of your tricks? Chuji inquired. Painted the Hokage faces, Naruto said cheerfully. I need to see that, Chuji said, giggling. It's not entertaining. They should be the most grounded and most regarded shinobi who safeguard us. They ought not be disregarded that way, Sakura said resentfully. Could it be said that you are exceptionally near Sandaime-sama? Sakura remarked, more than asked. You, everything being equal, ought to know their penances for us. Naruto battled not simply suddenly erupt about Hokage's forfeiting excessively. Naruto didn't have the foggiest idea what to say on that to the pink-haired young lady that he covertly used to enjoy. Try not to attempt to duplicate, Sasuke-kun, Sakura thundered. However, I said nothing, Naruto shielded. That is how Sasuke treats his fangirls. Overlook them, that is the reason she said that, Kiba grunted. You folks are simply envious, Sakura said, fully backed by her kindred rivals. No doubt, Naruto is the one in particular that has a slight possibility beating Sasuke-kun, so all of you spur off of him, Ino said, similarly red-hot. Doesn't, in a split second all the fangirls turned on Ino. Better believe it, I just implied in ninjutsu, Ino said. The states and glares escalated, even from Sasuke. Sasuke-kun isn't flaunting like Naruto doesn't mean he is more fragile than him in anything, Sakura said, obviously off base in her appraisal. Quiet, Irika blast. All of you have your genin tests 1 week from now. All of you ought to get ready as opposed to messing about, Irika said. Everybody became anxious. Class is excused, Irika said. Not you Naruto, you have activities, Irika ended the subtle Naruto. Best of luck, Shikamaru shared with him leaving. Naruto awakened the following day late night of scouring and cleaning the Hokage faces. I ought to prepare on my bunshin, Naruto shared with nobody. Naruto sat water to bubble and went to clean his teeth. On returning, he poured the steaming water into the ramen and left subsequent to locking his entryway. He was strolling gradually, partaking in his ramen along his way to foundation. He felt somebody behind him, so he turned, yet beyond any good time to make any meaningful difference either way with the kunai coming for his neck. He shut his eyes, however the effect didn't come. He woke him up to see Sasuke checking out at him with unbelieving eyes. You would prefer to safeguard your morning meal than your life, Sasuke expressed. Naruto then, at that point, understood that he had removed his hand and at a protected separation away from the assault as opposed to utilize it to shield himself. Provided that it's ramen, Kurama laughed. What's going on of going after me at any rate, Dadabayo, Naruto said, stepping back. Sasuke stashed his kunai. I needed to gauge my solidarity, on the off chance that I could assassinate you. Is this about yesterday? In any case, Naruto asked, proceeding to eat ramen. No, Sasuke answered in a split second, obviously being gotten. Naruto chuckled and proceeded with his excursion to the institute, presently completely mindful of the last Uchiha behind him. How would you make it happen? Sasuke asked at long last. Do what? Naruto requested, shifting his head to give his affirmation from the inquiry without turning around. The Bunshin Jutsu, Sasuke said, stopping. Naruto pivoted. I realized it was about that. Respond to me, Sasuke requested. It's simply that I have a ton of chakra. Furthermore, I mean a great deal, Naruto said. In this way, you had it given to you, Sasuke said mockingly. Says the one with acquired eyes that have some control over Bijou, Naruto said, significantly more mocking. Sasuke quickly was before him with his kunai out once more. How do you have at least some idea that? Sasuke requested. Just Uchiha Madara had the option to do that, and it's anything but a very verifiable truth. Even in our tribe it wasn't, Sasuke said. I read it someplace, Naruto lied, proceeding to anxiously stroll past Sasuke. He plainly couldn't reply. Goodness, the 9 tails, you are informed who is dead. Definitely, I have him in my stomach, and he educated me regarding the baffling Sharingan Veil Eye man who constrained him to go after the town. You read someplace? Sasuke inquired. That or heard it from the elderly person Hokage, Naruto said, crunching the ramen cup and tossing it in a dustbin at the foundation's entry. Sasuke appeared to trust him at that. It was the teacher, all things considered. Sasuke was then amassed by his fangirls for consideration, so he slipped away expressing gratitude toward Kami. Sasuke didn't annoy him sometime thereafter, so he calculated that he was happy with the response. Naruto sped towards his condo when class finished and proceeded to do a fast drop on his bed. "Shouldn't you get ready for your tests?" Kurama said. "I completely disregarded that," Naruto bounced back. "However, you will assist me with correcting?" Naruto asked in a sing-melody way. "Shouldn't you do this all alone?" "It's your test, not mine," Kurama said, grinning. "No, don't do this to me now," Naruto asked. "Would you confirm or deny that you are a piece of me? Add on to who I'm." "Tisk, once more, close to home show," Kurama protested. "You realize that I will not be of any assistance in taijutsu and your composed tests, aside from the set of experiences questions," Kurama cautioned. "I know. How could you realize what is shinobi standard number of kunai and at what points they are tossed?" Naruto practiced what he had heard umpteen number of times. "Yet you are getting endlessly better at controlling a human body," Naruto commented. "Be that as it may, taijutsu is different altogether," Kurama said. "I know. I just need to get the muscle memory and afterward you can do them too after a little practice," Naruto said. "You ought to zero in on the prompt danger first," Kurama said. "Relax. I can get simply suboptimal in taijutsu. You can make nice genjutsu for foundation level. Get full score in ninjutsu and with a couple of inquiries from composed tests. I can without much of a stretch pass," Naruto said. "Assuming you get found out?" "I can't utilize your chakra to jutsus without adding a smidge of mine," Kurama said. "I don't figure there would be undeniable level tactile ninja there," Naruto said, feigning exacerbation. "All things being equal, I can pass assuming you just assistance me in the composed tests. I'll simply be in the somewhat suboptimal class rather than better than expected." "You ought to in any case plan," Kurama said at last. "I know. In any case, I plan to prepare my bunshins. Which would really help me as opposed to doing numerical statements." Naruto expressed going to the cooler and taking out a couple of bananas and going out through the window. Naruto proceeded to prepare his bunshin over and over that day until the sun set without any result. "Moronic bunshin jutsu," Naruto mumbled, getting up and tapping the soil from his garments to get back. "How would you make it happen?" Naruto asked Kurama. "I have let you know this multiple occasions. I'm chakra. I'm comprised of genuine measures of chakra. How could I experience difficulties with chakra control? I have full command over it while your body is excessively little for your as well as mine chakra to hold, so, definitely, better believe it. The Kawarami Jutsu and Henge are simple, however," Naruto remarked nonetheless. "That is on the grounds that enveloping your body in chakra and changing appearance and utilizing chakra to dislodge two masses utilize more chakra than creating your chakra into air," Kurama replied. Naruto just acknowledged it for that and approached his direction. Naruto the following day saw something startling at the foundation. The fangirls club were cornering Hinata, so he got up to advise them to remove it. However, as he heard what that was about, he halted. "I saw you following Sasuke-kun yesterday. You like him excessively, right? Try not to deceive us," one of them said. "Why, indeed," Hinata said with her forefingers meeting one another. "Hinata as well," Naruto mumbled. "Desirous?" Kurama asked, just to be overlooked. "That makes you our opponent," Ino proclaimed. No," Hinata said, becoming red. I won't pursue it," Hinata said, bothered. "Why? Sasuke-kun is great," Sakura expressed insulted for Sasuke's benefit. And no, I mean ye. Indeed. I'm a group he. Beneficiary, Hinata made do. So. You assume you are above him? He is one as well, Sakura shouted. Temple. Group beneficiary can't wed just anybody they like. There is a ton of governmental issues included. Particularly with regards to those with blood limits, Ino replied. Hinata gestured. Every one of them quieted down at that. Well, great for us then, at that point, Sakura said, and afterward acquired a look of unadulterated fiendishness. Ino. Could it be said that you are a group beneficiary as well? Sakura asked with a devilish grin. Acknowledgement and the ramifications sunk into Ino as her face withered. Naruto chose to leave. The test day had at long last come, and Naruto was as of now seeming his composed test. Principal architect of Konoha, Senju and Uchiha, Kekkei Genkai of Shodame, Mokutan, stand by, that sounds fascinating. Didn't you say he utilized it to tie you and other followed monsters too? Naruto prodded. In the event that you recollect, take the test all alone, Kurama compromised. Please accept my apologies, sorry. Continue ahead with it as of now, Kurama intruded. Naruto returned to work. Uzumaki Naruto. Naruto went to the front to complete the last part of his tests. Taijutsu was first. To test them at their best actual state, and afterward the composed test and everything that was left of Gen and Nin. Make an essential Gen Jutsu, Mizuki inquired. Naruto shut his eyes and exchanged with Kurama. Let me know the hand signs, Kurama inquired. Pig, bull, tiger, snake, Naruto replied. Also, the individuals in encompassing reach as well as the entire class was trapped in it. The deception was of Naruto sitting on the edge of a Goliath ramen bowl and afterward him coincidentally dropping and suffocating in it. However, as he was suffocating he was wolfing down on as much as possible. Naruto reclaimed the control. Hello. Would you be able to have made something ordinary? Like causing trees to develop or something to that effect. Could that have been entertaining? Kurama inquired. Naruto saw his snickering cohorts and he grinned as well. Any kind of consideration wasn't unwanted by him. He had offered up effectively attempting to get consideration from individuals after he made another companion. However, human communication was still not equivalent to collaboration with Kurama. That was generally excellent. Naruto. Presently play out the 3 essential foundation ninjutsu, Iruka inquired. Naruto did the 2 perfectly and exchanged with Kurama for the Bunshin. Naruto, for what reason do you shut your eyes for the Bunshin? Mizuki inquired. It assists me with concentrating better, Naruto said. It leaves you powerless briefly, and that as a shinobi can be the choosing second that you live or bite the dust. Practice on it, yet you did the jutsu nonetheless, so you score full in ninjutsu, Iruka started. While Genjutsu's viable reach was bigger than all. It was very simple to distinguish and to break out of, Mizuki wrapped up. Counting every one of your scores, you pass with a 57 out of 100, Iruka said. Naruto grinned and gestured to them and strolled back to his seat until he accepted his hideout. Naruto stood by energetically until the other understudies got past with their endeavors. After lengthy anticipate, Iruka came to the study hall with Mizuki and gave them the hideout. Naruto took it from the work area that it was put on and tied it on his temple gladly. The outcomes were pronounced one last time with rankings. There were 27 who passed altogether. He came in 13th. He was content with it. He didn't do it without anyone else, so he was unable to be pretentiously pleased about it. However, he didn't feel remorseful about cheating, all things considered. Instructors at his foundation had consistently disregarded his inquiries and questions and up to some level effectively segregated and hindered his development since he was the host of Kurama, so it was quite reasonable to utilize Kurama. They didn't know Kurama in any case. He wasn't the monster everybody believed him to be. The latest phenom was Uchiha Sasuke, with Aburame Shino coming in second for the spot, and the Kunoichi of the year was Haruno Sakura and Katsue Aim coming as the dead last and bombing the tests. This calls for festivity, Naruto told himself. Naruto skirted his direction to Ichiraku after Institute. He lost the parcel screen and thudded down on the seat, presently grasping his headband, showing it to Ayam and Tucci. GG, Ayam ni, I passed, Naruto sang. Congrats Naruto, Ayam saluted. Ramen on the house then, Tucci said, grinning. Mizu, Naruto requested his most loved ramen. Naruto savored the ramen with most extreme joy. I need some cup ramen too, Naruto asked, unwrapping the bowl, standing up and putting cash on the table for them. Ayam returned into the kitchen and brought what was ordered. Do you need separate chopsticks for every one of them, or one could do? Different, Naruto replied. So you are an all-out shinobi, making his own living then? At that point, Naruto, Tucci asked, you will not rely upon Hokage-sama any longer. I won't, Naruto said with fulfillment. He preferred the feeling of freedom that accompanied. He got the sack of ramen and advanced out towards his home. On arriving at the said put, he thudded down on his dab without changing into his night garments or cleaning up. Who do you think my colleagues would be? Naruto inquired. How could I should realize that? Kurama protested. You are no fun, Naruto glared. Chuji would be nice, Naruto told himself, perhaps Shikamaru and Kiba as well. Obscure to Naruto, in a gathering, a few jonins and foundation educators and the Hokage, similar contemplations were circling, however with undeniably more focused. Hokage-sama, this year is loaded up with family beneficiaries. I guess that the faction undertakings will be more pervasive than foundation execution, Mizuki inquired. Indeed, I think putting the Yamanaka, Nara, Akimichi in a group again would give similar outcomes as the past age, Hiruzen said. Hokage-sama, this year it's somewhat unique. Iruka drawed out. Different? Different how? Hiruzen inquired. I accept the tests didn't draw out the best of them, Iruka replied. You propose the medium isn't up to standard with the shinobi of right now? Hiruzen said with a raised temple. No, I didn't truly intend that, Iruka amended rapidly. It's, if I name names, Naruto would one say one is of them, his presentation is very, non-uniform. He did perfect in ninjutsu, yet taijutsu and sport shooting were horrendous, and the composed tests as well. It resembled he picked specific parts that would permit him to breeze through the test and he skirted the rest, Iruka said. Hiruzen's face was lost briefly in thought before he recalled himself and murmured, we can't drive him. In the event that his worth is more than the test's gauge, it is absolutely impossible that we can assess that. In the event that Naruto doesn't need us to, it's not just about him. Nara Shikamaru. He is simply languid, Iruka said. You presume that Shikaku's child is sluggish. Nobody might have seen that approaching, Kakashi said, moving his one eye. I mean, he just gave up in taijutsu even before the match began. Iruka expressed a lot to the consistent murmur of the room, and in questions including estimations, he composed the cycle and technique to tackle it yet didn't really settle them, Irika wrapped up. Yamanaka Ino, she also didn't do her absolute best in taijutsu in light of the fact that her outfit and hair would have gotten filthy. Akimichi Chuji was matched to battle against Inazuka Kiba and he would have rather not battled his companion, Irika proceeded. The ones who passed all had plunge scores and the framework to place the way behind everyone and the latest phenom, the group is as yet lopsided contrasted with different groups, Irika was cut off. Hiruzen held up his hand, I have adequately heard. I accept similarity as a group ought to step through need over exam scores. Group 7, Uchiha Sasuke, Haruno Sakura, Uzumaki Naruto. Genuine romance overcomes all. Ino Pig. Naruto contemplated the group he was put in, I don't have the foggiest idea. I feel like I would have jumped at the chance to accompany one of those 3-inch. Well, if the concealed Uchiha is still out there. He will come after you one day. You can utilize this to know the Sharingan on a personal level through fights and fights, Kurama proposed. You are correct, Naruto answered. Thinking in such bearing, he strolled up to them, need to eat together. Sasuke left disregarding him and Sakura looked towards Naruto yet followed Sasuke needing a date. People disdain me. I don't have the foggiest idea how you might at any point exist with them, Kurama said. They should be so discourteous about it, Naruto said. Naruto returned to his seat and took out an apple from his pack and began crunching it single-handedly. What's more, alone he was, well alone with his group this time, sitting tight for his Jonin teacher. Every one of them were worn and bothered out. Naruto at long last concluded nothing more will be tolerated and got up and put a duster on top of the entryway. He is a Jonin, he won't ever succumb to that, Sasuke remarked. I know, Naruto expressed proceeding to flawlessly put it. He shouldn't have been late, Naruto said heaving, I'm exhausted. Not a single one of them conflicted. They heard the entryway open and the duster land on a man's head. Naruto chuckled loudly while the other two gazed. My initial feeling. Meet me at the rooftop shortly, Kakashi said prior to puffing in smoke. He gave us a time limit difficult to achieve, Sasuke expressed running out of the room. Sakura and Naruto took cues from him. On their way Naruto exchanged with Kurama and acquired lead on both of his partners, hopping and running ceaselessly. Naruto came to find the one who Kurama presented as his father's understudy, Hatake Kakashi, gazing at him. For what reason did you have your eyes shut? Kakashi inquired. My faculties heighten when I do and I can get things done with more focus, Naruto lied. He couldn't simply let him know that among him and Kurama the person who isn't in charge of the body can see, similar to how Kurama can see everything from his seal. With Kurama's smelling sense and hearing reach and Naruto's eyes, they capability totally typical even with his eyes shut. Be that as it may, to his alleviation Sakura and Sasuke came gasping. Alright, how about we move presentation first, Kakashi said, present yourself, your preferences, disdains, leisure activities, dreams, things like that. Might you at any point go first? Sakura inquired. I'm Hatake Kakashi. I like a few things and aversion a few things. I leisure activities. I don't want to tell. Furthermore, my fantasy is nothing of you should be concerned about, Kakashi said. Might it be said that he is generally this way? Naruto inquired. How could I should be aware? This is whenever I first am seeing him in 12 years. I just remembered him on account of his covered eye, Kurama said. I'm Haruno Sakura, I like. Sakura addressed looking towards Sasuke. I disdain Ino pig. My side interests are understanding books and my fantasy. Sakura was a becoming flushed wreck toward its finish. Kakashi continued on overlooking that, broody. Sasuke laughed at the moniker however replied, I'm Uchiha Sasuke. I despise numerous things and could do without anything specifically. I don't enjoy numerous leisure activities aside from preparing. My fantasy is to kill somebody of note and resuscitate my tribe. Kakashi waited somewhat after the serious response and provoked Naruto to proceed. I'm Uzumaki Naruto. I like ramen. I dislike the 3 minutes you need to sit tight for ramen. I like to investing energy in the timberland and swimming in streams. Naruto replied, or more like named his response, that he could have done without investing time in the town, and he was unable to remain secured in his condo for the whole time, so he dove deep into the backwoods towards the edges of the town far away from the general population. My fantasy is to turn into a Fuinjutsu ace and lay out a place of refuge for the Uzumaki remainders. Acceptable as far as some foundation story. How Naruto got agreeable with Kurama would be uncovered in a section in far future, during the uncover that he is an ideal Jinchuriki. Naruto doesn't have a similar character he does in standard. He isn't broody by the same token. It's simply that he has little to no faith in anybody. He actually will be the generous soul that he is, however he will be more far off with others. He doesn't despise them yet sees them with lack of bias. He is withdrawn however isn't timid. He actually prefers to have the endorsement and affirmation however doesn't make a special effort to get that. Due to which he will not excessively join with his group and I won't have him pursue Sasuke's dick. With respect to abilities, Fuinjutsu ace. Naruto. Kakashi advanced toward preparing ground 3, where he had his perhaps future genin group sitting tight for a really long time. He realized that he ought to essentially have a go at being on time, or possibly have a go at thinking of trustworthy untruths. He just shrugged the issue again as he disregarded the incensed pink head yelling at him and blaming him for being apathetic and so forth. The Uchiha just remained there, yet his face made it unmistakable that he wasn't his ally. Strangely, Naruto was absent. Prior to blaming me, you ought to stress over your own group. Where is your third part? Kakashi inquired. He has been here the same length as we have been, Sakura kept on yelling at him. Naruto, Sakura's volume expanded various creases, such a lot of that he needed to slice his ears to save them from the silly pubescent shriek. Naruto emerged from behind a tree, running. Did he come? Naruto asked, yet he found the solution himself when he saw him wave a languid hand at him. What's happening with you? Kakashi asked him. Nothing, Naruto said smiling. Kakashi needed to dig further yet faltered, looking the stupid grin all over. In this way, about the test. Get one of these, Kakashi expressed, taking out 2 ringers, and you pass. Yet, there are 3 of us, Sakura inquired. 1 fizzles, Kakashi told them. What do you mean 1 fizzles? Naruto asked, glaring. That one of you fizzles and returns to Foundation. Kakashi grinned stupidly at him. What? Yelled every one of them. Well, 2 of them, and the other conveyed his feelings by glaring with a grimace. Better get these to return, Kakashi grinned. Get into positions when I say start, Kakashi let them know, bouncing away a couple of feet. Begin, Kakashi said, and every one of them evaporated. He saw the course that Sasuke and Sakura made a beeline for, however Naruto was too quick to even consider finding in the commotion. All he could see was the orange scramble. In any case, he could detect every one of them. Particularly Naruto with his reserves. They hadn't figured out how to suppress their chakra, so he was unable to fault them. In the event that he hadn't felt Naruto's chakra before, he would have thought it was a jonin. It was an impediment for the group with him standing out like that, yet a benefit assuming they expected to feign right out of a circumstance. The first to take action was Naruto, as he had anticipated. Naruto jumped at him from a branch high up with a kunai close by. He obstructed it with his own. However, something that got him off guard was that Naruto had his eyes shut. Naruto utilized that to run away with still his eyes shut. Naruto had enlightened him regarding his faculties honing when he shut his eyes, yet this was somewhat mind-boggling. Naruto was soundly hopping endlessly, in reverse with his eyes shut, and arrived on a branch in squatted position. Sasuke moved toward him from behind and tossed out a fireball, which Kakashi evaded without any problem. Sakura actually remained in stowing away, which was the more astute choice. They had nothing to go after him with. Sasuke had his tribe looks to gain progressed stuff from. However, Naruto and Sakura just knew Foundation Essential 3, and not a single one of them could be utilized in fighting a foe a lot more grounded than them or any fight overall. Naruto got right into it once more. He actually had his eyes shut. He got into Kakashi's range and blew a Goliath fireball too. I know the distinction between the hand indications of a genjutsu and a ninjutsu. That too, a Uchiha jutsu which you would never get your hands on. Kakashi talked nonchalantly, simply remaining in the flares. He delivered it rapidly and found Naruto crawling up on him discreetly. He was before long supplanted by a log to get some distance between. Yet not between the replacement and henge. Naruto expressed popping back from the log and going for the ringers. Kakashi scarcely figured out how to get him before he pulled off the chimes. Naruto traveled through hand signs once more, and this time hand finishes paperwork for the replacement, he ensured. Naruto was supplanted by a log, genuine one this time. Be that as it may, this was definitely not an ordinary wooden trunk, it was bound with paper bombs. He moved before they could detonate, yet they detonated. Kakashi tapped his vest to quench the blazes got on it. It was unreasonably close than he would like. Those paper bombs were unique. It wasn't the standard given one. They detonated quicker, it nearly skirted the time after the tag is enacted. It gave the idea that Naruto wasn't all discussion about him needing to turn into a Fuinjutsu ace, all things considered. He had proactively started his excursion with little advances. Konoha, well, the whole shinobi world was consistently needing seal aces. In the event that Naruto could turn into a capable one, matching the standing of the Uzumaki, then he would be one of the most impressive shinobi to exist in the current day. He didn't have the information expected to prepare Naruto in the workmanship. Well, to be obtuse, he was confused when it came to seals, as was a large portion of the world, which made seal ace much more risky. He would need to make a great deal of things happen to assist Naruto with arriving at there. Sasuke exploited him being surprised and plunged at seeing his shortcoming. Sasuke wasn't difficult to manage by any means, he shouldn't have been. They ought to have gotten that at this point and began cooperating. Kakashi proceeded to manage them rapidly so they could continue ahead with the test and check whether they would function collectively in the following period of the test. He gathered together Sasuke effectively, who was out in the open, vulnerable. He planted an extremely furious Uchiha that day. Naruto mixed into the woods to conceal his presence, keenly however pointless. He chose to take out Sakura first with genjutsu and brought her listed behind him and attached her to the post. He went to see Naruto straightforwardly into his concealing spot, which astounded Naruto that he cried and caused him to affirm his area with the break of the twig. Kakashi pursued him, yet just to get impacted once more. This time when he bounced away, he was trapped in another impact. Naruto had traps laid out all over the place. Well, that is what he should have been late, he estimated. War zone loaded down with traps and burdens. It took him longer than he naturally suspected it would to snag Naruto. He recently continued to utilize replacement until each tree that he put paper bombs on were depleted and, surprisingly, after that to move away from him. He wound up with Naruto nighttime of him getting endlessly. He thudded him down and removed the established Sasuke. He gave them 2 lunch boxes, you can't impart to Sakura. Recover your energy and we will go at it in the future, and on the off chance that this time you neglect to get the ringers, you fall flat. Saying that he left and evaporated, he remained to watch out for them, however they didn't appear to see that. He was unable to hear what they were referring to, yet Sasuke began, and sooner or later offered Sakura his lunch. He grinned at that. Naruto did likewise as well, following Sasuke. However, Sakura was too bustling eating from Sasuke's hands to see Naruto. He showed up before them and took limitless thoroughly enjoy seeing their terrified appearances. Every one of you pass, Kakashi said, I grinning. What? Chorused the new genins. He continued to address them about collaboration and worth of partners regardless of anything else, missions. Horse crap, Naruto spat. Kakashi was going to counter, saying that in the event that he felt that cooperation was what he suggested, he wasn't prepared to turn into a genin. However, Naruto proceeded. You anticipate cooperation from us by the very beginning. Naruto folded his arms, we scarcely know one another. Didn't you go to the foundation together? Kakashi inquired. That doesn't imply that we turned out to be dearest companions. I haven't even conversed with them straightforwardly yet, Naruto said. Kakashi raised a scrutinizing eyebrow on that. Like you at any point talk, Sakura said, we passed, isn't that right? For what reason would you say you are vexed? I'm trying to say that the test is unreasonable, Naruto said. Indeed, I will voice your interests in my report, then, Kakashi told him. Another thing, what particulars have you made to the paper bombs? Kakashi asked Naruto. Naruto radiated at that. Rather than one side, I draw them on the 2 sides. Actually, that's straightforward. It requires substantially less investment to enact, 2 times as quick, Naruto told him. However, at that point you wouldn't have the option to leave that onto any surface with chakra, Kakashi expressed, it would burst when you attempt to. Indeed, I cut the bark of the trees to make a pocket-like shape and kept a bundle wrapped up there, Naruto told him. Innovative, Kakashi commented. Meet me here the following week at 7 a.m. for your most memorable mission, Kakashi told them, and afterward bid his farewell with a wave and disappearing in a twirl of leaves. Break. Kakashi advanced toward the Hokage pinnacle to submit his report. He was getting unusual gazes in light of his state. Naruto truly pulled his standing down. He went into the room subsequent to being provoked by the collaborator to do as such. He bowed his head to the Hokage and saw Asuma and Kurenai previously staying there. It appears as though they were the main different groups that passed. Okay. I expected you were late for your own lateness. Appears as though I was refuted, Hiruzen expressed, taking a gander at his worn-out garments and consumed blemishes on his garments. There wasn't false in the tone, however there certainly was merriment. He for a reality knew that the Hokage could never have missed to see Naruto's test with the precious stone ball. Yet, he realized the other two in the room were kicking the bucket to get some information about it, and their subdued grunts and laughs were adequately sign. "Report?" the Hokage inquired. "Uzumaki Naruto ought to be given admittance to the fixing strategies, particularly Uzumaki Chronicles," Kakashi started. "Goodness, and he has an interest to keep his eyes shut, perhaps a fixation even." Naruto strolled into the Hokage's office the next day after his chime test with assurance overflowing in his eyes. He held on until the secretary informed the elderly person about his solicitation to meet him. It was a couple of moments before he was brought in. "Hey Naruto-kun, what might I do for you?" Hiruzen started cheerfully. "You recall what you guaranteed?" Naruto asked without avoiding the real issue. "And that could be?" Hiruzen inquired. "You see, I'm going downhill. You said that you would permit me to have the parchments abandoned by my family when I was more established," Naruto reminded him, "or all the more so trying him to offer something in any case." "Okay, yes. About that," Hiruzen said. "I'm a genin now." "That implies a grown-up by shinobi regulation," Naruto expressed. "Indeed, yes. You don't need to sell your point," Hiruzen said with a pompous hand. "As a matter of fact, your new teacher proposed me to do likewise." "Indeed he did?" Naruto asked astounded. "He was very dazzled with your interests and dreams," Hiruzen told him. "He informed me concerning your changed paper bomb." "Would you see any problems with making one for me now?" Hiruzen asked. "What change did you make in the equation?" Naruto went up to him like a little dog swaying his tail. Hiruzen gave him a typical piece of paper and ink with brush, and Naruto took it stupidly grinning. "It's really a bombed result of something I needed to do," Naruto told him. Naruto tore a piece of paper and began painting it. "Ordinary ones are made simply by applying chakra into the kanji, and it begins spreading when chakra is initiated until it explodes," Naruto said, proceeding with his work. "I maintain that it should be greater, the blast, I mean. I had a go at painting the whole paper with chakra-bound ink and afterward draw kanji on top of it," Naruto said, blowing air to dry it. "That way it just would expect to simply initiate it to blow. Apparently like a standard painted paper, yet it would have a dangerous kanji on it." Naruto let him know, drawing kanji of detonate on top of it. "In any case, similar to the current one, I was unable to take advantage of any place, and landmine paper bombs are pointless more often than not. Ninja don't have an anticipated development example or development design by any means," Naruto proceeded, "yet Hiruzen hindered him by removing the paper, yet the issue was that this one would explode even with smallest of chakra," he said, rapidly dunking it in his water glass and obliterating it. "Even with the hints of chakra abandoned in the air, subsequent to playing out any jutsu," Hiruzen expressed, taking a gander at him with a scrutinizing articulation, "that would be risky to heft around in time taking to make it in a hurry. Indeed, that, and on second thought, if making the chakra spread gradually, it expected to be an explosion of chakra, which is just conceivable by having it in touch," Naruto replied. "And that would kill the client too." "It's self-destructive," Hiruzen expressed. "It is," Naruto concurred all too cheerfully. Albeit the satisfaction was started by his creation, the way that the creation was a self-destructive delayed bomb didn't help. "In any case, you would need to visit the library like clockwork, however," Hiruzen continued on. "Huh? Why?" Naruto folded his arms. "For what reason mightn't I at any point have it? Those are extremely risky as well as essential to simply lay around at your loft, Naruto-kun," Hiruzen addressed him persistently. "They would be more secure there with consistent guard." Naruto couldn't contend with that. He believed him should have them since he claimed them, yet he would favor them not being taken away or, more regrettable, lost by him. They couldn't deny me section? Naruto asked, like previously. No, that was the public library, these would be situated in the shinobi library, Hiruzen said awkwardly. Running against the norm, they would permit you, as opposed to even me. Just Uzumaki would approach and you are the final remaining one, last known Uzumaki, Naruto stressed. Hiruzen gestured understandingly. Then could I at any point go there now? Naruto inquired. Hiruzen remained quiet briefly. I would have to refresh them first. They will not permit you section now, Hiruzen told him. Naruto glared. I will try to have each planning done by tomorrow, Hiruzen guaranteed. However, okay, Naruto's glare transformed into a sulk. I don't have the foggiest idea where this library is. The library is close to the Hokage faces, however family explicit information is somewhat further away, associated with the library, Hiruzen told him. I will send somebody to show it to you tomorrow, Hiruzen said. Naruto said thanks to him and left the room, missing the miserable grin all over. Following day, Naruto enthusiastically followed Kakashi. They planned to go on their most memorable mission. They would get to pummel villains and save individuals. In any case, not before he helped the Sandaime to remember what he had guaranteed yesterday. He just got a contemptuous wave with consolations that it was in process. How could simply telling the guard individuals to let him section take such a long time? Kurama had then brought up that the world didn't work as indicated by a 13-year-old's rationale. Naruto had cheerfully called attention to that it didn't as indicated by a timeless being's rationale also. Particularly one who has tails. They could get to go on hazardous and marvelous missions, right? Naruto could keep persistence to stand by assuming that he had something to do. So for what reason was Kakashi halting at a house? A civilian house too, as it appeared. A blunt watching man left. He burst into a progression of hacking just later. He had all the earmarks of being frail regardless of his appearances. He was redder than typical too. Kakashi gave him the parchment and afterward followed the man further into the house. They were then invited to a huge and open region. Naruto checked out at Kakashi for replies. Get to work, Kakashi said, grinning. I could do without that look, Naruto thought. Kurama also was snickering wildly for reasons unknown. What do you mean? Naruto inquired. Get to furrowing, Kakashi said once more. Why? Naruto inquired. Well, the clients could do without it when you don't really do the mission you are allotted to do, Kakashi said totally casual. Naruto shrieked, reality soaking in. Kakashi's heaving chuckling and Kurama's clearly snicker in his mind didn't help. For what reason didn't you tell me? Naruto requested. What's more, miss that. Kurama answered, as yet chuckling. You suck, Naruto remarked, digging soil. 2 hours into work, Naruto just thudded down under the shadow of a tree to get breath and have some time off. Kakashi unexpectedly showed up before him utilizing Shunshin. Naruto let out a surprised cry, however quieted down seeing what its identity was. I'm a tad. I'll get to work, Naruto argued. As yet grinning Kakashi started, Hokage-sama has sent for you. Naruto looked behind him to see a man in the Konoha's Jonin outfit. Seeing his eyes, he was a Hyuga. Naruto jumped up invigorated. Is this about the library? The man just gestured his head. Stand by, that is no fair. Naruto will go and we need to keep working, Sakura whined. It's only for quite a while. He will be back by our next mission, Kakashi told her. Naruto let his failure show all over about it. He immediately moved away from the work. The one who had come to accompany him could have done without him being hurried, it appeared, as he gestured his pass on to Kakashi and moved in a consistent speed. Naruto had to adjust the speed too. Naruto was then lead behind the Hokage Mountains to see an enormous design remaining there, yet it appeared to be extremely immaterial contrasted with the mountain. He guessed that the library would be the essential objective of all possible infiltrators, so it being in a far-off area checked out. Just shinobi could at any point have the option to visit there, so nobody would have the option to mask themselves as a civilian, and taking character of an obscure shinobi in the midst of other shinobi of the town would be the dumbest thing of all time. The main way left was to take the character of some shinobi, and they would need to do extraordinary examination of whoever they are taking the personality of and tackle through the individual's way of behaving, responses, companions and everything. Kurama said nothing, so Naruto had insight into that his ideas held some rationale in any event. It had been the most ideal way for Naruto to conquer his weaknesses. He had been simply getting over things he was unable to comprehend before, on the grounds that nobody was there to clear up it for him yet. After Kurama had become Kurama and not Kyuubi, Naruto generally attempted to consider reasons or rationale behind everything, and Kurama would ridicule him on the off chance that he just strayed far away from the genuine or conceivable thinking. To say that it tackled Naruto's concerns would be off base. Kurama had better consistent reasoning looked at than Naruto, yet at the same time that didn't mean Kurama grasped the method of people, particularly shinobi. Kurama would simply yell about people in the event that he didn't appear to track down the solution to anything. Not that Naruto considered Kurama any less as a result of it. How could he grasp people to incredible profundities? People don't have the foggiest idea about each part of different animals, damnation, considerably different people. People simply have an essential comprehension of creatures' perspective. Naruto questions that they would have even gotten where they are in the event that there weren't talking creature summons. They entered, and Naruto felt like he entered an alternate world altogether. A large portion of the library was cut into the mountain with simply the entry worked outside. There was next to no light coming in, so the whole spot was loaded up with candles all over. It gave the whole spot a brilliant red gleam, improved by the midday daylight breaking in. He understood that he had fallen behind, glancing around, and the Hyuga had pushed ahead and presently was hanging tight for him quietly. Naruto immediately moved to go along with him. His running advances pulled a few head away from anything that they were perusing, yet no one said anything, and they returned to anything that they were doing. However, Naruto didn't miss the acknowledgement in their eyes. They strolled profound into the library, into a separated lobby where there were a few shinobi on guard. He saw a tremendous entryway with 2 men and a lady guarding it. "I accept Hokage-sama has informed about the legacy," the Hyuga said. The one in the number 1 spot gestured and got aside, yet another cut them off and afterward put a hand on him, and afterward Naruto felt an unexpected whirlwind all through his body. "You figure somebody can repeat that chakra," the first said in a quieted tone. Naruto understood what that chakra implied, however they didn't realize that he did. The Hyuga just hacked to remind them to not discuss it before Naruto. "Technique is strategy," the man said smoothly. Naruto understood that the first was a tactile mean. "The subsequent one is a genjutsu client," Kurama said. "Your mom went through this every time she stayed with your father. He is checking for genjutsu or henge methods bound on you." That seemed okay. What's more, the third one? Naruto inquired. I don't know yet, most presumably a battle speculed, Kurama replied. They then, at that point, continued further. There was a ceaseless and wide foyer. There wasn't so much as a slight hint of daylight, yet there were a few fire lights on the two sides. It was destructive quiet. Naruto understood that they were going underground as the temperature decreased a bit. Kurama, switch with me and check assuming there is any other individual is here, Naruto said. Naruto made it seem as though he was checking out the spot so the Hyuga wouldn't get an immediate gander at his shut eyes and suspect anything. Kurama then shifted Naruto's head high up to get a superior smell. There are, Kurama said, and Naruto immediately exchanged and woke up. Every one of them are all around stowed away, Kurama said. We will not likely have the option to switch in here. They would get dubious, Kurama told him. Naruto felt a little fulfilled perceiving how secure everything was. He without a doubt realized that he would have the majority of the parchments missing by a month. 1 week, Kurama bet. Naruto overlooked him and proceeded. This is where we head out in different directions, the Hyuga said. Huh. Yet, we actually haven't reached, Naruto said in disarray. Past the following walls lies group privileged insights and fortunes of a few Konoha tribes with the exception of the Hyuga. It is installed with seals that block the Biwa-Kugen for well-being reasons. I don't wish to carry inconvenience to my faction without expecting to, the Hyuga said. There would be somebody to help you, the man said prior to withdrawing. Naruto proceeded, and after the following arrangement of entry he saw a lady hanging tight there for him. Ah! I see you are here, Naruto-kun. Follow me. Naruto perceived her. She was the elderly person's little girl in regulation. They had a couple of collaborations before, yet not much. It was just Konohamaru's motivation of tricks that she could have done without about Naruto, so that was fine. She was a civilian, however not she appeared to comprehend what is happening better compared to the others it appeared. She drove him through the intricate engineering. He saw numerous family images on the way, driving into rooms guarded by individuals of the particular tribes. The Uchiha and the Senjus were the biggest, and next were the Akimichi. The Senjus had been totally closed and the Uchihas too, it appeared. Here, she said. Naruto was somewhat frustrated without a doubt. It was the littlest one he had seen. However, at that point again the Uzumaki weren't a tribe of Konoha, so they wouldn't have a lot. Naruto-kun, you need to cut your hand and drain on this seal, she told him. Do I need to cut every time I come? Naruto inquired. She squirmed a little. Ahem, it's like, different ones are chakra signature based. Blood and hereditary material were utilized in bygone eras, but since of the lifestyle for a shinobi, it is extremely simple for foes to achieve that on missions, she made sense of. For your situation, you see. You have extremely enormous chakra stores and little control, so we don't have the foggiest idea how the seal will respond, she proceeded. How are those related? Naruto asked resoundingly. She's tricking you. It's not your stores. They are stressed over my chakra being blended in with yours, Kurama replied. I just have little information in shinobi workmanship, Naruto-kun. I have tidied up the spot and light up the candles. She attempted to steer the conversation in a different direction. Naruto owed in seeing intellectually yet shrugged genuinely, and afterward yet his thumb and afterward defined a boundary on the seal which vanished immediately and the entryway opened swinging the two sides. It felt so emotional. The entryway was then flung shut after he entered. He glanced around to see a flawless and clean room with parchments and books of all sizes stacked in shelves and stacked up bigger parchments. He hauled one of them out and opened it to be observer to the most lovely calligraphy he had at any point seen. It was just expected by Fuinjutsu aces. The Hokage is attempting to procure your trust, Kurama said. Your meaning could be a little clearer. Naruto inquired. He might have straightforwardly sent the lady to you, however he sent the Hyuga out surprisingly, who plainly wasn't permitted here. He needed to demonstrate the way that you can believe him, and he couldn't take advantage of it really. Is it true or not that you are digging excessively profound? Kurama recently heaved, obviously uncertain himself. His confidence in the elderly person has been faltering gradually as the years pass, and he isn't talking a word to him about Kurama or his folks. That's what perhaps the elderly person knows and is attempting to recapture his most extreme trust and visually impaired dedication once more. Naruto shrugged that idea and started glancing around. The seal my dad utilized was called Harvester Demise Seal, right? Indeed, yet what use could you have with it? You would kick the bucket just later, Kurama addressed. I simply need to find out about the seal. I figure I ought to comprehend it totally, assuming it will be on my body. Are you sure that is all you need? Kurama asked doubtful. Obviously. Naruto said resentfully, I need answers, however not that gravely that I would kick the bucket to be forever fixed in the Shinigami's stomach. Naruto spent the following several hours looking, yet without much of any result. It hasn't arrived, Naruto mumbled so anyone might hear. I didn't get everything. The elderly person is as yet concealing things, Naruto yelled disappointed. I couldn't get down on him. I would offer that I am familiar with Kurama, and all the more so I realize Kurama all around okay, that he would enlighten me concerning the seal. Stop gabbing. It's not the apocalypse. It's prohibited anyways, Kurama said. Realize those chains or something, that would really help you on missions and battle. Missions, Naruto shocked up. I overlooked my group, Naruto expressed, rushing out into the nightfall. Barely 7 days had passed since Naruto had been visiting the library. He was very feeling better when came to figure out that it wasn't the most visited places in Konoha. Naruto had been seeing that non-family situated shinobi regularly visited place more than the groups. He guessed that the group's individuals would have zero desire to come to the library when they had more established individuals to coach them actually. For them the library was more probable a protected house. Naruto shouldn't have been shocked, and he saw both Sasuke and Sakura in the library on an off day. Kakashi Master was sent away on a mission, and he hadn't relegated them to any schoolwork or onto another teacher, so they were allowed to do anything they desired. He guessed that Sasuke would prepare Uchiha-situated ninja expressions, and Sakura, not having some other wellspring of information, seeked out the library. Or then again followed Sasuke. Sakura went to express hey to Sasuke when she saw him while he just brushed past them, just visually connecting as the main affirmation of their presence. He could see Sakura conceal her bitterness and frustration as both him and Sasuke went past her more profound into the library where she wasn't permitted admittance. Naruto comprehended how uncalled for it is for her. Not having the help to work on herself and being supposed to get to the next level. It was something very similar with him. The instructors and the Hokage consistently anticipated that he should improve while never guiding him or how to accomplish something else than he was doing. It turned out to be to a greater extent something typical between them, running over one another at the library. He saw Sasuke definitely more frequently than Sakura. Sasuke had exceptionally huge arrangement of family jutsus and methods only sitting tight for him to dominate, so he should spend a truckload of his time here since he never sees Sasuke around the town. Naruto had considerably less yet significantly more convoluted scrolls. He really want consistent direction in it, yet he didn't have anybody. He would have rather not taken it to the elderly person since he was as yet irate at him for not furnishing him with the aggregate of the Uzumaki Chronicles. He realized he would need to concoct something if he at any point had any desire to advance, however he wanted an opportunity to chill. He began with the adamantine chains. They didn't need composing or drawing kanji. It was undeniably more troublesome than he naturally suspected it would be. I thought, Naruto gasped, groveling, I could at no point ever would feel chakra depleted with this much chakra. It was your tribe that fostered this. Intelligently they would consider their stores, Kurama said snidely. First I figure out that father's popular jutsu wasn't his in any case, yet the second Hokage's, so I don't get to acquire it, and afterward now this, Naruto fumed. Such a long time this much chakra was an incredible aid, and presently this much isn't sufficient. For what reason would you say you are straightforwardly leaping to the last step? Kurama asked, don't start with 9 chains every step of the way. Your mom began from 1, however you have more chakra than what she had when she starts. You could start with a few. It would have been amusing to see individuals when the evil spirit Kyubi whelp called 9 chains, however, Naruto sulked. I wish mother was here to assist me with the chains, Naruto said. You realize that regardless of what you are like, I wouldn't pass up on the opportunity to kill her once more, assuming I get one, Kurama said genuinely. Naruto said nothing. He knew that between each of the 3 of the Uzumaki, Kurama's life had been the hardest with his mom. He was in a real sense nailed into a rock with these chains for quite a long time. Naruto was simply thankful that Kurama had no issues seeing the chains once more. Monster or not, dread doesn't see reason. Regardless of whether Kurama realized he truly do nothing like that. Naruto disregarded it, not having any desire to contact the subject, and continued on. Alright, project the chakra to the back, shape into chains and push, Naruto rehashed the dubious guidelines. However, this time he made diminish the number to 3 and it shot out of his back, beating torment through his back, like destroying it, tearing through his skin, coat and shirt. It's blue. Kurama shouted, stunned. Naruto pivoted to see a skyish blue chains implanted into the rooftop and walls. However, he wasn't draining from his back as he expected. Naruto dissipated his chakra and thudded level into the ground from his bowing position. Does it hurt like clockwork? Naruto asked feebly. I have to strongly disagree. She wouldn't utilize them to do house errands in any case, Kurama said, considering. What tone did my mom's chain have? Naruto asked, recollecting Kurama's words. Brilliant, Kurama replied. I think it projects the chakra variety. You have blue. Your mom's had been brilliant yellow, Kurama said, and the first 2. Now that I consider it, I think my most memorable host had to a greater degree a brilliant variety, while your mom had a yellowish tint to it, and the chains too, Kurama said. Does that mean Uzumaki have a particular chakra variety? I know that Surgeon Jutsu all show green chakra, Naruto. I don't have the foggiest idea, Kurama said. Suppose you should find that out all alone. In any case, it is conceivable. My most memorable host was the group beneficiary, so she acquired chakra far more grounded than your mom, who was as yet an unadulterated blood, however substandard chakra, while you are a half-blood, Kurama hypothesized. Naruto got up leisurely and removed his coat. Will this happen every time? Naruto inquired. Indeed, that it will, Kurama said. She used to create chains from hands consequently and not her back. However, that will be no decent for battle or anything, assuming hands would be involved. It will be to a greater degree a weakness, Naruto said. During missions? Indeed. Getting a weighty pot down to clean? No, Kurama replied. I simply realized this will be over the top expensive, Naruto murmured. A couple of days after the fact, Neji strolled towards the edges of the town in the woods late night. He arrived at a clearing where he came frequently to simply quit everything. At the point when he concluded that he had enough of his green spandex group, or at whatever point he figured he could choke somebody in his family out of his dissatisfaction. Today it was his tribe. Hayashi-sama had some leisure time today and had the option to prepare his girls, so he had informed Hinata-sama's teacher that she wouldn't have the option to go, and he had additionally done likewise with him and informed Guy Master of his non-attendance. Both Hanabi-sama and Hinata-sama required fighting accomplices who were around a similar weight and body size. Hinata-sama had been elevated to genin as of late, so she should have just D positions now. However, he had been a genin for north of a year at this point and was getting some C and B positions once in a long while. They had a momentary C position mission today which he needed to miss as a result of it. Not that Hayashi-sama had some awareness of it. He knew that Hayashi-sama should believe that it was useful for Neji also. However, fighting with substandard adversaries was of no utilization to Neji. He attempted to drive those contemplations away as he approached his objective. What amazed him was that somebody was at that point there. By the garments swinging from the tree, he immediately acknowledged who. Just a single individual wore that orange coat in the whole essential countries. He was hesitant to offer his presence since he had anticipated that it should be unfilled as usual, so he hadn't placed on his headband or wraps to conceal his seal. The kid hadn't known about his presence, it appeared. Did he only come for an absorb the lake? There were better ones for that reason. This one had lotuses blossoming in them and hence not really great for swims. Not extraordinary for typical purposes, but rather was useful for water strolling practice, and why he had tracked down it in any case. He looked out from behind a tree to see the kid lowered in the water, exposed body with only his jeans. Endlessly closer examination he could see, chains. Somewhat blue sky chains were reached out from his middle and moving gradually in water, slicing through it easily. At the point when he surfaced to inhale, his head snapped towards him. Neji hardened yet emerged from stowing away, all while sea blue yes followed him and his own pale ones changing from his sea blue eyes to check the sky blue chains out. Naruto appeared to see his eyes and afterward the chains vanished instantly. He said nothing and just remained there for some time not knowing what to do. Naruto gazed at him meanwhile. However, at that point he understood that it wasn't him that Naruto was gazing at, it was an incredible scourge, the seal on his brow. I didn't have a clue about this spot was involved, Neji ended the quietness. Naruto started swimming towards the shore and left the lake water trickling from his body. No problem. I was going to leave at any rate, Naruto said and got his shirt on and draped the coat off his shoulders. Doesn't seem as though it, Neji prevented Naruto from leaving. Huh? Naruto asked, pivoting. Neji just highlighted the pit fire Naruto had constructed and two fishes held tight sticks, cooking by the fire. Ah. I disregarded those, Naruto said advancing there. He got them and a lemon too which Neji had neglected to take note. Naruto cut it with a kunai and crushed it on both the fishes and gave him one. Here, Naruto advertised. Neji gradually took it from his hand. Much thanks to you, Neji said. How could you realize I was here? Neji asked what had been irritating him. Huh, Naruto inquired. I made no commotion, I ensured it and, surprisingly, then you were submerged, you could never have heard me and neither smell me. You were convoluted so you could never have seen me either, Neji called attention to. Impulses, Naruto said. Neji didn't trust him the slightest bit. He realized Naruto was lying, that he didn't push him to reply. However, if he would have rather not uncovered his procedures, he comprehended. He was something very similar. The Chunin tests were in several months and he also had been planning covertly. Not even Guy teacher realized that he had dominated 64 palms. Is that a seal? Naruto asked reluctantly. Neji's guarded impulses kicked in. Non-Hyugas shouldn't have some familiarity with it. It wasn't the greatest mystery, as any group who had a Hyuga had some awareness of it, and the high-positioning individuals like Hokage, the Jonin leader, and such individuals had some awareness of it as well. However, it was something not told to offspring of the town. It was something overlooked by everyone with the exception of the one the seal was put on. Neji gestured. How could you be aware? I'm a Uzumaki and I need to turn into a Fuinjutsu ace, Naruto replied. It's a no-design seal, that implies no composed seal formula, on your temple, Naruto started anxiously. The genuine seal is imbued in your cerebrum, right? Naruto wrapped up. How could you be aware? Neji asked, frozen completely still, feeling most weak he has at any point felt since his dad kicked the bucket. I read about such seals. Naruto addressed reluctantly. The vast majority of the seals known in Konoha are brought by Uzumaki, Naruto murmured quietly. Neji's inclination to choke somebody returned. Naruto locked the entryway of his loft, getting inside, and moaned a lenient murmur. I thought he planned to kill me right there, Naruto said, strolling up to his storage room. He would have, in the event that you told a Byakugan wielder that you can see 360, Kurama laughed. Indeed, even they can't see total 360, Kurama added. Is that what their eye does? Naruto asked. There was a young lady with those eyes in foundation. One of the numerous things, Kurama answered, it can see chakra pathways in and through your body. You find out about the Byakugan then the Sharingan, Naruto glared. Might you at any point remind me which one is your shortcoming? Kurama didn't answer Naruto, so he proceeded. Furthermore, also Sasuke's mom was my mom's dearest companion as per everything that you said to me, Naruto proceeded. You had in a real sense 3 lifetimes and presently mine to get to know it, Naruto expressed, slipping into his nightwear. TSK. There was a Hyuga in your mom's group, Kurama protested. Naruto oohed. In any case, for what reason would you say you were turned the alternate way when I surfaced? Naruto mumbled resoundingly. Kurama heaved yet didn't reply. Naruto was accustomed to being disregarded by Kurama when he irritated him to an extreme, yet he realized this was unique. Kurama didn't lie, yet Kurama tended to act all self-important when he attempted to change subjects or needed exclusion of certain subtleties. Come on. Tell me, there was a fish. What? Naruto glared, not understanding what he heard. There was a fish, Kurama said reluctantly. A fish? Naruto burst into snickering. Kurama, with everything considered, was very much like a youngster in some cases. He acted much sillier and more adolescent than him. He was more inquisitive about specific things more than him, which he comprehended on the grounds that in the wake of living as long as he had he never gotten the opportunity to notice a living fish. Kurama wasn't in best of his psychological state with his past hosts to enjoy such various things previously. Was it another sort? One that we haven't seen? Naruto asked. In any case, before he could find a solution he heard a thump on the entryway. Naruto made the way for find Sasuke remaining there with a disapprove of his face. Kakashi is back and has gathered us to the Hokage Tower, Sasuke told folding his arms. Presently, Naruto asked taking a gander at the clock highlighting 7 p.m. Yes, Sasuke replied, his dissatisfaction obviously noticeable. That's what Naruto acknowledged and returned, I'll be down in a moment, I really want to change first, sit tight for me. Naruto immediately put on his orange jeans and a dark shirt and took off. He saw Sakura holding up there too. However, she appeared dislike Naruto's appearance. Perhaps her alone time with Sasuke was demolished. He didn't press further as Sasuke quickly began strolling seeing Naruto. Nobody expressed anything as they advanced until they saw Kakashi resting up against a wall languidly, sitting tight for them. For what reason did you call us teacher? Naruto asked without avoiding the real issue. We have a mission, Kakashi addressed straight away. Presently, Sakura asked doubting. Indeed, a shinobi is sent on mission on brief's notification for a really long time and some of the time months. It will train you to adjust to the way of life, Kakashi told them. You need to show this right after your drawn-out mission, Naruto asked distrustfully. Believe it or not, Kakashi said nonchalantly, beginning to walk. They followed him grumpily. You will have child-sitting obligation today, Kakashi told them. What? Sakura inquired. One more deposition, Sasuke spat out. Presently currently, don't take it too cruelly. These likewise have benefits which you don't see now, Kakashi assuaged Sasuke. Let me know how might minding me kill somebody, Sasuke requested, each word bound in toxin. As I have proactively told you, Sasuke. Kakashi moaned, we will discuss this later. We are here, Kakashi expressed halting before a house. It appeared as though it wasn't their most memorable discussion regarding that matter and neither did it seem like the following would be the last. The house was situated in the close-to region of the Hokage Tower, which had extremely less crime percentage and tight security in view of its area, so typically just rich individuals resided in these districts and it was exceptionally clear from its size. Kakashi went over conventions of presentations and such with the proprietors of the house while Naruto looked around the house in wonder. Kakashi got back to them offering both of the guardians, he accepted, farewell. The child is taken care of and he is dozing in his room, which is next entryways. We should simply keep guard, Kakashi told them as they went further into the house. I'll take the primary shift, Naruto said. The sooner he got this over with the sooner he would have the option to go to quiet sleep. There are no movements, Kakashi said grinning. What do you mean? Naruto asked previously fearing the response. They dispatched for 3 genins to guard, in the event that they needed one, they would have recruited one, Kakashi told them. They are well-off dealers who need to take care of an offering sell-off this evening and will be back tomorrow, Kakashi made sense of the mission. The closeout is a major occasion and a large portion of the well-off individuals of the place where there is fire are going there this evening, so it is a superb chance for business rivals, cheats, criminals to get right into it, so they employed a chunin however nobody was accessible so you 3 make up for that, Kakashi said. Each of the 3 of us, as a group are likeness one chunin, Sakura inquired. No, Kakashi responded to her, "You were just picked on the grounds that they got a Jonin and you three at the cost of a Chunin." Kakashi's face was far too complacent for him to aloof say that afterwards, implying that they were abutting to abandon now. He absolutely shouldn't be the one activity on and on about aggregation work, Naruto commented. The sensei is a allotment of the aggregation as well. The kid is a 2-year-old and is aloof abutting doors, so don't accomplish abundant noise, Kakashi said, plopping bottomward in the bend of the allowance and flicking out his orange book. The allowance did accept appliance and added accommodation to sit, but Kakashi still sat bottomward on the floor. Naruto affected it with some array of activity or assurance to not use any of the client's accoutrements afterwards their consent. He sat bottomward as well, beneath a window and a non-abundant Sasuke and Sakura abutting them on the attic authoritative aboveboard of kinds. It was affectionate of like they were camping, with candle lights aglow in the allowance and the moon ablaze peeking in. It was colder for him as he didn't accept his anorak on, so he absolutely acquainted like he was beneath the accessible night skies. He confused places not absent to Bolta Algid by the morning. That reminded him of his broken jacket. He bared to arise up with article to acquisition a way about the chains, so he started academician a fronted account accepting annihilation bigger to do. It was about a few account afterwards though the shrieking wails resounded the house. I anticipate the babyish woke up, Naruto said. You think? Sakura said irritatedly. Kakashi consistently dumped all kinds of work, from banal affairs to abundant bulk assignment on them, so aback he himself stood up and went central the allowance they were added, then surprised. You anticipate he would leave accessory to a babyish to orphans like you? Kurama huffed. Now that Kurama acicular it out to him, it did accomplish sense. He was orphaned at bearing and lived a abandoned activity with little acquaintance about demography affliction of babies, and Sasuke was orphaned at a actual adolescent age as well. Sakura and Sasuke seemed to accept the aforementioned affair with the advice of a tailed barbarian, so Sakura got up to advise Kakashi while both Sasuke and Naruto were larboard abaft sitting abominably listening. Sensei, don't hold him like that. Sakura's articulation bedeviled the cries. Well, it seemed like Kakashi wasn't actual acceptable with babies either. It was accustomed aback Kakashi absolved out with a abashed smile on his face, about guilty. It took a few account but the cries died bottomward and Sakura tip-toed out disheveled, circuitous beard and aperture apprenticed in a attenuate line. She didn't alike bother to fix her beard and angry it in a apathetic bum, not caring abundant to arise her best for Sasuke, which told a lot. Kakashi took out a annal and threw it at pure Sakura. Is he hungry? That's a go to babyish sitting kid, Kakashi told her. No, no. The absolute had slid off and he was cold, Sakura answered. Why do you accept this on you anyways? I got it for the mission, Kakashi answered. It's absolutely acclaimed in annal shops amid shinobi, Kakashi said. Then I will have it back, Kakashi said, extending his accoutrements to bolt the scroll. I borrowed it anyways, I am a bit low on cash, Kakashi explained. How are you low on cash? Didn't you aloof acknowledgement from a connected Appalachian mission? Naruto asked. Kakashi absolutely looked abroad and laughed slightly. I'm not absolutely acceptable at managing my money. And I absent a bet, Kakashi said sighing. Naruto and Sakura groaned. Never mind that, Kakashi said, so I absentively to accomplish this acquirements acquaintance for you all. What are we acquirements again? Sasuke asked. As I said, it's adapting your new accustomed and breaking the addiction of accomplishing things about the alarm as you did in academy, Kakashi answered. And if you pay absorption to the mission you would aces up things that arise from acquaintance, Kakashi connected lecturing. You will accept to do things aloft the ambit of the mission to ensure the success of a mission or bland progress, like affairs food like I did today from your own pocket. Sasuke did shut up at that. Sealing scrolls, Kurama stated. What about them? Naruto asked. It unseals aciculate weapons afterwards actuality torn, Kurama said. Yes, and what Abu? You mean the chains? You are right. I could inscript article like that and it on my shirt. You are a genius. Naruto exclaimed. Naruto afresh benumbed out others about him and fished out a sealing annal and began to angrily try and anatomize its formula. Naruto, let's go, Kakashi told him. Where? Naruto asked. Mission is over, our audience are aback, Kakashi said. Naruto did a dug booty on that. He looked al fresco the window to see the ablaze arise in from clouds, appearance dawn. Naruto put the abroad the annal and got up and dusted his pants. You know, it won't do you any acceptable if you are this absent during missions, Kakashi said. Would you accept a like noticed if adversary sneaked in the allowance and dead their target, Kakashi lectured him. What would you accept done if we were not actuality, Kakashi questioned. Kurama would accept alerted me, Naruto thought. Apologetic sensei, Naruto said abrading the aback of his abutting with his hand. It was way too accidental and nonchalant for Kakashi to accept that Naruto absolutely meant it, but he didn't appetite to do this in advance of the audience so he relented. You all can go rest, we will alpha training at noon, Kakashi absolved them. Naruto instead of comatose his body, absentatively his assignment in advance was added important. So he was in the library scribbling bottom ward addendum assimilate a annal while belief the capacity of addition which had capacity of yet another. I anticipate this would do, Naruto commented. He apprenticed his duke into the annal aloof to see annihilation happen. He accustomed it to canyon through it. TSK, worthless, Kurama said. Wait. Naruto said frustrated. Oich, Naruto said all of a sudden, I'm brainless, something new. Kurama joked. Haha, Naruto said dryly, acrimony in every breath. Maybe it will assignment if I covering my duke with chakra, Naruto said. He did aloof that to see his duke canyon through it. YSS, Naruto jumped happily. He aloof to analysis did the aforementioned with a alternation and it formed as well. Now the botheration is, Naruto sighed, how do I get this on my shirt? Ink will blemish abroad with diaphoresis or water, Naruto said. Why did you alike bother with this if had already realized this? Kurama asked. I accept an abstraction but I don't apperceive if I can acquisition addition accommodating to cooperate, Naruto said. Or addition who would address their time and accomplishment in the aboriginal place, Naruto said. We can try at least, Kurama said. Naruto did accede with that. It had been a connected day for Kakashi. Aboriginal with the babyish sitting/guard mission, which would be one of his worst missions. He had abounding missions in Umbu and as a jonin but the agitation he had acquainted aback the loud wail started is article he would never forget. He had a custom that they would accept to her the cries until the audience came aback a budding morning. He absolutely should not accept taken a babyish sitting assignment because Naruto's, Sasuke's, and his own childhood. He did not apperceive what he would accept done afterward Sakura. He had been a genin for a actual abbreviate time afore he fabricated his way up and had not accomplished the affliction genins go through. He would rather activity a foe than accord with that. That's why he was still single, maybe. And a fresh training that day hadn't been advantageous at all. Sakura was aloof, affronted of accomplishing chakra exercises, all of them were, but she had already baffled the one he had accustomed them and was aloof, repeating it. Sasuke, on one hand, with a aching ego, said that he wasn't able to Betty by in the morning and accordingly was tired. Kakashi would accept, been complacent if it wasn't Sasuke. He knew Sasuke already had agitation with that, address of his own brother disturbing him, afterwards killing off his clan. Sasuke had been connected aggravation him about aloof, accomplishing D ranks and ambitious a college-ranked mission and adage that he was accessible for it. Kakashi had aloof, been blockage him for now. Naruto, on the added Duke, came aerobatics bottom ward with red eyes. He would accept about mistaken it for the QB demography over. He appeared to not accept gotten Betty by either. So their training concluded alike afore it began. And afterwards all that he was abject by Guy to a bubbler party. He saw Kurenai and Asuma cat and mouse for them at a table. It was to bless them demography on the burdens of demography, affliction of youths, an article like Blaze and Heroes of the Future. You know, Ashino told me that one of your genins has commissioned an outfit, Kurenai told him. Sakura, Kakashi guessed. No, Naruto, absolutely, Kurenai told him, abundant to his surprise. The Nara matriarch? Kakashi asked, surprised. She runs a allotment time dressmaking business, Asuma abreast him. He did ask me area I got my compatible from, Kakashi said, maybe he got an acquaintance with her from there. At atomic annihilation would be bigger than that orange, Kakashi sighed. I'm not too abiding, Asuma said. Don't you bethink Shikaku-sama's acceptable amber bristling cloak? Or Kurenai's accoutrements and Guy here, Asuma said. Kurenai's eyes shut him up immediately. For your information, she accomplished personalized apparel for specific bodies, Kurenai said, slamming bottomward her jug. I majorly use genjutsu so article that attracts their eyes and abstract them is actual advantageous, and it is awful fashionable as well, Kurenai dared them to allege join her. She brashed me about the actual for my jumpsuit too, Guy added, they are actual abiding and don't get apart or torn, practicing taijutsu stances. Just so you know, she did not say annihilation about the color and design. I verified, Kurenai said. And the flowy blind the Jonin administrator wore continued his adumbration by that breadth the back it flowed, and he acclimated to bolt enemies off bouncer with the little continued breadth, Kurenai told them. Of course. It's Shikaku, Asuma laughed. I aloof achievement she fixes him, Kakashi hoped. She was actual aflame about it, Kurenai said. Kakashi, appetite to bet if. No, Kakashi said furiously. Did I absent something? Asuma asked. I won a bet and won his aerial advantageous connected Appalachian missions pay, Guy said smugly. The day couldn't get worse. Kakashi accidentally strolled through the streets of Konoha, walking appear the Hokage Tower, area his genins would accept been cat and mouse for some time now. With Guy boring him the antecedent night he hadn't got abundant Betty by for 2 canicule, and that was on top of the Hawkeye nights that he was on mission. He saw his aggregation cat and mouse aloof al fresco the Hokage belfry beneath the adumbration of a tree. They had become accustomed abundant to apperceive that he wouldn't be on time and had chock-full throwing fits every time he was late. Sasuke seemed to sitting silently while Sakura was talking about something. He couldn't acquaint because Sasuke wasn't assuming any response. Naruto on the added Duke was a altered adventure altogether. During the time he was beneath him, he had learned a lot of things about Naruto. Naruto had an affected amulet to abutting his eyes during the best inappropriate times. He seems to beam about an allocution to himself a lot, blubbering things to himself. Sometimes it acquainted like he was talking to some apparition or something. As cool as that articulate he couldn't advise but feel his point accurate aback sometimes Naruto would about aloof bite or bang himself and afresh looked affronted for some reason. Yo, Kakashi fabricated his attendance known. As accepted Sasuke and Sakura angry appear him and Naruto was aloof absent in his own world. I appetite to appeal a college baronial mission, Sasuke started immediately. Kakashi groaned internally. Sasuke had been adamant in his requests lately. I took the accord of my teammates as you asked, Sasuke said. Kakashi had been aloof dabbling the assured aback he had said that so he sighed silently and looked appear the actual team. You both feel like you are ready, Kakashi asked. Ah. Hi there sensei, Naruto said belated. Thank you for actuality with us Naruto but I asked if you anticipate that you are accessible for a college mission, Kakashi afresh himself. Yes, Naruto said. I anticipate so, Sakura said a little hesitant. I will be there to advise you if things alpha falling out but I won't footfall in until it's crucial, Kakashi said. Sakura nodded her accord a little relieved. I will appeal for one then, Kakashi said, but if I feel that you weren't accessible for this afterwards the mission afresh connected D ranks anticipate you. How he enjoyed the attending of abhorrence and abhorrence on their faces. They fabricated their way to the Hokage belfry and got a C rank on his request. An escort mission. He absolved them for bisected an hour to backpack for the connected adventure and went aback to do the aforementioned himself, allurement the applicant to delay by the gate. For the aboriginal time afterwards the aggregation accumulation that he wasn't the aftermost to arrive. Naruto was missing from the accumulation by the gate. Where is Naruto? Kakashi asked. Here, he heard Naruto's articulation coming. Why aren't you late? Naruto asked like he was allurement a accustomed question. He should accept been affronted by it but, he couldn't accusation Naruto either. Because this is important, Kakashi answered. Why aren't you packed? Kakashi asked seeing the abandoned-handed Naruto. I accept aggregate, Naruto said fishing out a annal for his pocket. How abounding things could you accept stored in one scroll? Kakashi asked. I closed my bag which food a lot of things, Naruto answered. That made him and the blow of them attending stupid. Did he absolutely never anticipate of that abstraction until now? Kakashi nodded. Tazuna-san let's get activity, Kakashi said. Aback you said this was important, you meant training us isn't important for you, Sasuke commented. No, I didn't beggarly that, Kakashi said. What did you beggarly then? Sakura asked. That isn't important. Focus on the mission, Kakashi said. Couldn't they accord him a break? The mission was simple abundant for a aboriginal time so he wasn't too abashed and it seemed to be activity smoothly. That was until he saw a dabble henge. They shouldn't be actuality for them. It was a C-rank escort of a merchant. Annihilation aloft thugs should arise for them. Was this a kidnapping advance of the Konoha Jinchuriki? Or the aftermost Sharingan? Or conceivably a animus on him? He would accept to allurement the acknowledgement out. He replaced a adumbration carbon with himself and hid to beam who their ambition is. It was actual chancy but as important. He bared to bulk out because if their ambition was Naruto a fresh things adeptness not be peaceful in the abreast future. The aftermost affair he capital was addition war. A lot of bodies seek adeptness but the Jinchuriki is article that one cannot use for claimed adeptness so if this was for Naruto afresh the affairs of addition nation actuality abaft this would access several folds. Those weren't some crimson shinobi attractive to boodle a aggregation for money either. Those were the demon twins. Let's get rid of the debris aboriginal brother, one of them said. And afresh both of them sped appear him and cut him in half. And afresh ran appear his team. Taking affliction of debris first was accepting rid of them so. Did that mean? Tazuna. Naruto was arctic in abode as both of them swung their chained blades appear him. Kakashi had abandoned that it would be their aboriginal time experiencing afterlife except for Sasuke. His fake afterlife abiding them in place. He should accept somehow abreast his aggregation prior. He absolutely acted as he would with a accustomed aggregation not accounting the actuality that they were not the activity accustomed shinobi. He realized that this wasn't aloof endemic first, it was his as well. As a sensei. Suddenly he saw Naruto's beam red afore he jumped abroad into assurance assimilate a timberline branch. With his fucking eyes closed. Kakashi jumped into activity demography out of kunai and blocking it from acid Tazuna. Suddenly he acquainted article abaft and he angry to see one, apparently a bunshin was activity in for the kill. But afore he could move he saw connected dejected alternation kill it through the aback and the Mizu bunshin disperse. His eyes arched in abruptness to see Naruto aptitude on the timberline with one duke and two chains thrashing about wildly. Kakashi affected himself to move. Before Naruto aching any of them he sped through with Chidori on duke and cut the chains. Not abandoned it endangered his aggregation applicant but additionally the enemies that he bare to abduction animate for interrogation. Sasuke, now chargeless from accepting to avert himself and Tazuna adjoined the chains abutting to advise him rounding them up while Sakura backward abreast Tazuna for aegis with a kunai in hand. It didn't booty connected to annular them up and tie them up. What was that? Sasuke asked Naruto afterwards aggregate had calmed down. Adamantine chains, Naruto answered, a abstruse adeptness of Uzumaki. When did you apprentice it? Kakashi asked, you shouldn't use them if you cannot ascendancy them. They are alarming. I can ascendancy them, Naruto said defensively, I aloof panicked. To demonstrate, Naruto grew addition alternation out of his aback and anchored it assimilate the annex and a fresh swung bottom ward from the timberline to acreage aloof in advance of them. It was the aftermost affair that Kakashi had accustomed to happen. Naruto acquirements his mother's chains and accomplished at it too it seemed, when not panicked. They are not as able as they are declared to be though, Naruto said afflictive as he was captivation the alternation and afresh dispersing it. Of advance they weren't. There were letters that the actual aforementioned chains had kept the Kyubi no Kitsune at bay during the advance all those years ago. They were able abundant to bear the bijou bomb. What was Chidori in allegory to that? But Naruto's assumed to be different. It was blue. We will allocution about this later, Kakashi said attractive at Tazuna. May I apperceive why there are shinobi afterwards you, Kakashi asked coldly. Your appeal was of AC rank, Kakashi stated, if shinobi are afterwards you afresh this is college than that. I don't apperceive what you are talking about, Hataki-san, Tazuna said demography a jug of wine. They were afterwards you, Kakashi said, why? Were they? Tazuna asked. If you don't acquaint us the accuracy, I accept no advantage but to arrest the mission appropriate now, Kakashi warned. No. Don't do that, Tazuna instantly sobered up. You were acting drunk, Sakura asked. Our country is in acute condition. This is all we could accumulate to accept shinobi. There is a affluent merchant, Gato, who has been colonizing our acreage for his benefit. I allegation to body this bridge, Tazuna pleaded. How would the arch help? Naruto asked. There is no agency of carriage, so for aggregate we accept to await on him. He is charging added, and on top of that we pay abundant taxes, Tazuna said. People almost accept to eat. We accept spent all of our accumulation for this. I beg you, Tazuna pleaded. This was a actual difficult bearings for him. He was abiding that he would be able to booty affliction if it abandoned, but still putting his aggregation in crisis was article he could not do so casually. He capital to advice the man out, but on the added Duke, if annihilation went amiss, putting the Jinchuriki and the aftermost authentic Sharingan in crisis would not go unpunished, alike if he absolved that. Dying on the aboriginal mission abreast D rank was abhorrent on the sensei, and the aftermost affair he capital was claret of his genins on his hands. What do you all anticipate we should do? Kakashi asked his team. Abide the mission, came Sasuke's burning response. Alike added a flame it seemed. Sensei, Sakura began. Yes, Sakura, Kakashi asked. These are the demon twins Gozu and Meizu, right? Sakura asked, fishing out a book which appeared to be a bingo book. Yes, Kakashi replied. Sensei, there except been letters of them alive beneath Momochi Zabuza, Sakura said. That afflicted things drastically. Area, did you apprehend that? Kakashi asked. There are belief on shinobi in the bingo book which amend regularly, Sakura said. I apprehended in a book in library that they adeptness not be alive independently. There were 4 instances area they were cited or were complex with Momochi Zabuza, Sakura said, and additionally that he now has a appropriate Duke man. Tazuna-san, that changes everything, Kakashi said. He is a baronial shinobi and he is alive with several added shinobi as well. I accept that this Gato being isn't effective in money or adeptness to agency such figures, Kakashi said. Although he was activity off on speculations. Best of the times, those were amiss, and God knows how abounding speculations there were, the acumen why he never agitated to chase them and why the speculations never fabricated it to be a allotment of the bingo book. This aloof jumped from a C rank to a college baronial A rank, Kakashi said. He peripherally noticed the affliction in Sasuke vanish. He knew that Sasuke capital to abide the mission, but now things were different. He wouldn't booty his aggregation on a suicide mission. And it seemed that Sasuke realized the same. At Atomic he knew his limits. So you won't advise me? Tazuna asked coldly. I'm abashed, I can't, Kakashi said. They weren't the bad guys' actuality, but Tazuna fabricated them out to be. A fresh booty me aback to get me my money back. You all ashen my time, Tazuna said irritatedly. I don't anticipate you will get it back, Kakashi said. What? Tazuna said enraged. It isn't our accountability that the mission failed. It was castigation for lying, Kakashi said. But, why don't you accommodation money? Naruto asked. If you weren't listening, our nation doesn't accept abundant to eat. Who would accommodation money? Tazuna asked. Not yours. Accommodation money in Konoha, Naruto said. The behavior for foreigners are actual austere and the absorption is actual aerial, and I don't own annihilation that I can agreement drop for eligibility, Tazuna said. I accept approved everything. I didn't appetite to lie either. It was my aftermost advantage. I was talking about article different, Naruto said, aggravating to betoken something. Kakashi had anticipation that Naruto had benumbed out afresh, deeming it not important, but he angry out to be wrong. Naruto was assimilate something, that was for sure. What do you mean? Tazuna asked. Article unofficial, Naruto said. That was article he never accustomed to apprehend from Naruto. Implying blah money, base tricks, adumbral stuff, advancing from a 13-year-old. Tazuna seemed to be cerebration about it actively too. Whatever you do, do not accessory Konoha with it, Kakashi warned and gave a secular attending to Naruto. No. I was talking about borrowing money from addition with interest instead of loaning it, Naruto antiseptic thankfully. I could advise you out if you accede to assertive altitude, Naruto said. Naruto, do you alike realize what this affectionate of mission costs? You will accomplish Jonin afore you accomplish that bulk of money to spare, Kakashi said. It was the pay for a rank multiplied by the cardinal of shinobi additional the taxes. I anticipate I accept enough, Naruto said, shrugging it off. Really? Tazuna asked, your parents would acquiesce this? I'm an orphan, Naruto said. And accept this affectionate of money? Tazuna asked suspiciously. Do you appetite it or not? Naruto asked with finality. Tazuna attentive for a moment but ultimately accepting an bigger plan of activity he began, and what are your conditions? Approaching accord of sorts, Naruto said. Oh. Naruto was absolutely activity about with this. What sorts? Tazuna asked. I appetite to clean my association afresh and will allegation banking abutment or reach, Naruto said. Their allegation be a acumen why your country is accurately targeted by this Gato, right? Naruto asked. Yes, there is. Our acreage is a anchorage of sorts, an all-embracing hub. It is amid in the centermost of three abundant nations, acreage of fire, acreage of abating and acreage of water. These three abundant nations accept a canyon through our acreage to cantankerous across and about merchants and cultivators arise for that acumen, Tazuna said. In short, it is the best accepted bazaar you can acquisition in the average of all-inclusive waters, Tazuna said, or acclimated to be afore Gato and his men. If I body this arch afresh the carriage will not be bound to Amnion and Gato doesn't own our acreage so he cannot over allegation for that and anticipate added countries from accomplishing business with us, Tazuna said. So article like bargain taxes or no bus line accuse and affectionate is what I am attractive for, Naruto said. Reduced? I will acquiesce your association to do business tax chargeless on our acreage if you do what you promised, Tazuna said. You are the arch of the apple, right? Naruto asked skeptically. Of course, Tazuna said indignantly. Well, my son-in-law was, but afterwards his afterlife we didn't accredit a new one and I unofficially took on the command. Naruto, you apperceive what you are accomplishing, right? Kakashi asked. Do you alike apperceive how to anatomy a treaty? GG will advise me, Naruto said instantly like that was a fact. Maybe it was. He knew that the Sandame would never debris Naruto article like this. So it's settled? Tazuna asked. Yes, you can go over the negotiations with the Hokage, Naruto said. Let's go back to Konoha first, Naruto said. Kakashi aloof befuddled himself from what aloof happened and firstly closed the brothers in a annal to present to the TI administration and afresh led them back. Area, did you get that affectionate of money? Sakura asked to Naruto, still addled over what had happened. He was too. Naruto had angry a bootless mission into a gold mine. It was a actual arbitrary trade. No amount how abundant the mission costs it cannot alike arise abutting to the accord Naruto snagged. He didn't apperceive if he should acclaim or abuse Naruto for administration the bearings able-bodied or for demography advantage of someone's desperation. I accept extenuative for so long. I cannot body a association in my one allowance apartment. Can I? Naruto said. Just how acceptable was the sandame with his allowance? Kakashi afresh realized Naruto was a lot added austere about it than he thought. Some allotment was abashed. What would Naruto go through if he never begin any Uzumaki afterwards accomplishing all this? What book was that? It has all shinobi names and identities, Naruto asked Sakura. It's the bingo book. Mostly ninja who accept Gon Crimson or accept bounties on their head, Sakura answered. So how abundant for them? Naruto asked, pointing at the Annal Absolute, the brothers. It's not mentioned, so I anticipate none, Sakura answered. Naruto, afresh aback, looked at him. How abundant for sensei? Kakashi instantly flinched. What is absolutely activity on central his head? Kakashi prayed Naruto wasn't accommodating to go that far. Why would a Konoha bingo book accept one of their own shinobi in there? Sakura deadpanned. What did this C rank about face into? Escalating from C to B to maybe Ariel A to a business accord to maybe a genuine acute murder.